Hello parents and students, this is Nathan Barnes. I'm the new teacher for Omnibus II, 8th grade. Just wanted to go over the homework assignments with you so you know what the students should concentrate on and should bring to class on Tuesday. You'll notice that I made some changes because of the performance of the students in class on Thursday. The students were pretty impressive. They were reading a very difficult text, and a lot of them had a sufficient understanding of what the text said and could discuss it, debate it a little bit, and everybody was paying attention and able to contribute to the class. So that was really good. I did make some changes so we could stay focused on moving forward. And also, I wanted to make this video for you because you have a new teacher now, and I might do things a little bit differently, write things differently, and it could cause some confusion. So I just wanted to clarify. We're going to be studying persuasive essays, and because of that, we're going to be studying logical fallacies. And I have this website here that I want you to use. There's 42 fallacies. We're going to be breaking them up in groups of 6, and we're not going to be covering all of them. And what I want you to do as students is to memorize these 6, the definitions of 6 of these fallacies, and be ready to discuss them and identify them on Tuesday. And I'm going to be evaluating the class orally on this, so I'll ask you, what's an ad hominem fallacy? Or I will say the definition of an ad hominem, and I'll ask you for the title. What's the name of this logical fallacy? You would say, that's an ad hominem. So we're going to be doing this together, and I'm going to be teaching these to you. And so you're going to be getting these from a couple different angles. You're going to be reading them on your own, studying them, memorizing them. We're going to be discussing them in class, and I'm going to do a little bit of teaching on it. So I really think that, or I know that this will be very good for you. Whenever you're constructing your argument, you'll know what logical fallacies to avoid, because your 3 points in your argument have to be supported logically by 3 subpoints, and everything has to come together logically to defend your thesis. So, and this takes a lot of discipline. I told the class on Thursday that as you're developing your major points and subpoints, you need to go back to your thesis and make sure that your thesis is still defended by those points. You might need to adjust your thesis. More often than not, I have to adjust my thesis rather than adjusting my points, because my points have more research and more careful thought. So that's that. Just be ready on Tuesday for a quiz on the numbers here of the fallacies on this website. I'll show you what it looks like. I use this website quite a bit whenever I'm reviewing a book or I'm writing, and I wonder if what I'm reading has a name. I'll think, oh, that's not logical, but what's the name of that logical error? And it takes a minute sometimes to find it, but I always find it. It's a very useful website. So on your quiz is going to be number 1. I clicked on it, description of ad hominem. You need to know the definition here. You also need to know the example. Now the example, you're going to have to memorize this. It's very easy. Person A makes claim X. Person A is usually the person trying to persuade, and person B is the person refuting. And they will attack person A, and they'll say, therefore, the claim is false because I attacked the person. And it's usually not that cut and dry. Now, sometimes it's implied, but this is a very easy fallacy, and people do it all the time. One of the reasons why people do it is they don't know how to argue. Instead of arguing the points, they argue the person, and they attack the person. So you need to know to avoid that. If you're writing your essay and you really don't like people who like vanilla ice cream, and you say, well, all those people are just stupid, so their claims are stupid. That is an ad hominem, classic, clean-cut, clear ad hominem, and it's not logical because it does not really support your point. So that's how you do it. What I would do is have the title of the fallacy and the example on one side of the card, on the other side of a flashcard have the definition. Now you can write this in your own words and abbreviate it. I'm not going to be asking the class to write out the definition word for word, but I do expect if I say, what is it called whenever you insult somebody in a debate rather than arguing a point? That's an ad hominem. So um, this is really easy. We say logic, we say fallacy, and you might think it's hard, but the beautiful thing about logic is everything is supposed to fit together perfectly. If you take one piece out, you can weaken the entire structure of an argument. And a lot of times, people that make logical fallacies will be making more than one. So their argument, you'll see that their argument is weak in several different areas, and you can point out they're not supporting the point appropriately. So this is a lot better, in my opinion, than what the textbook does sometimes, where it will just say it had the students just in a refute looking for an example of poor reasoning. This tells you exactly what kind of poor reasoning is being used, and it's easy to identify. This is not difficult stuff. So to me, that's encouraging, and I know the kids can do this. I'm going to have you read King Arthur here. Now, I said earlier that the textbook that they're reading is very difficult. It's more difficult than any book I've ever read in a class for graduates or even my PhD program. It's just a very difficult book to understand. There's a lot of characters. It's not translated very well, and it's definitely not translated for 8th graders today. It was translated in 1966, and it was written like 400 years before the King James Bible. So um, we need to appreciate the difficulty of this text as the students are reading. And I am very impressed with how much the students have retained from reading this difficult book. So I'm trying to divide the reading of King Arthur, which is the most important part of the history of the kings of Britain. I divided it up into 2 sections of reading. One is going to be on Monday, the other is on Wednesday, and then we're going to be through with this book and move on to Macbeth. So that's why you have a lot of reading in this book that's difficult. And I want the students to take notes and be prepared for a quiz on King Arthur. We're going to have a quiz on Arthur on Tuesday, and then we're going to have a quiz on Arthur on Thursday, because we're going to be reading two big sections of Arthur, and then we're going to be done with this book. All the reading for the week is at this website. It's the University of Rochester in England. It has really good footnotes, and the students can read about Arthur on their devices if they want to. Okay, due on Tuesday, I want you to bring with you everything that you write down. Okay, so I want you to bring to class everything that I assign that you can write down. Because if I'm not asking for it for homework, I want you to be able to review it and look at it, reference it while we're in class, so you can discuss. Use your notes, use your outlines, and such as help whenever we're talking. So I hope that clarifies everything. So for Tuesday, there's not going to be a quiz on Ephesians, but I do want you to read it. There is going to be a quiz on King Arthur.